Okay, and you can talk about the whole season that we've had so far and the last few years, but go on the game tonight. It was almost an impossible task anyway. But if Arsenal go into that half-time break at 2-0 up, as they probably should have been, had that penalty have been given, and it was a stone banker penalty, the game is completely different. And you know, for that same, wherever you could, they're not even a fourth official, the ones behind the goal, that's for that same one to overrule the referee early in the second half and to give to insist that it was a red card is galling. And you know, Wenger was interviewed just now. I heard his interview, and he's blaming the referee, and Wenger's going to get slated for that. But he's on this occasion he's got an absolute point. You know, I mean, they could have pulled off the comebacks of all comebacks on that. But the referee was way out of his class. Paul, it was his first.
Paul,
go on, mate.
Paul, what are you on about? Honest, listen to yourself. Can you hear what you're actually saying? I'm not forgiving what's gone on. Like I said to you, I'm not forgiving the state that Arsenal finds. You just said it could have been the comeback of all comebacks. What are you on about?
What do you mean? What am I on about? Do you disagree that 2-0 it's a completely different game?
Paul, you've just been thumped. You've embarrassed.
Do you disagree?
No, I'm sorry. You can't isolate one decision over a two-legged game. No. I tell you what's ridiculous.
Banker.
This phone call is ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Wenger's ridiculous. You got thumped 5-1 away from home. Okay. Then you're coming back here and you're saying if you'd got a penalty, you could have had the comeback of all comebacks. You've just been embarrassed. The Arsenal Football Club have shamed English football tonight. Shamed it. And you've got the gall to phone up and say the referee is to blame.
Jason, when it was at 3-1, I heard some of the pundits saying, "Why don't they shut shop? Why did he go attacking substitutions? He brought Ozil on and Perez on, but why did he not shut shop?" Well, okay, 10-2 is embarrassing. Well, 8-2 is embarrassing. Why not try and go all out attack and have a bit more pride? Okay, they got undone. It was too easy in the end, so it became another 5-1. But what is the point of shutting shop?
No, but you cannot, with a straight face, come on national radio saying that the refereeing decision changed the course of that game. The course of that game was changed when you guys left Bayern Munich. That's where the tie was lost. Tonight, you had to get the first goal, and who knows? But don't be trying to kid anyone, including yourself, that the comeback of all comebacks was on. It was never even close. You needed to score 3 goals for that comeback to even be start of a reality.
Paul, thanks for your call. Let's go to Luke, an Arsenal fan. I want to get through as many calls as I can. 08717 22 344. Luke, off you go.
Hello.
Hi, Luke. Off you go, pal. You're live.
Hello, mate. How are you? Not too bad. Basically, obviously, I was at the game today, and I'm absolutely disgraced. I really don't agree with what Paul's just said there, the last caller. Not one bit whatsoever. He must have been living in a bit of a fantasy world. I don't think Arsene Wenger's to blame at all. I'm hearing that Arsene Wenger's to blame. I don't believe that. I genuinely believe Arsene Wenger is the best thing to ever come to the club. There should be a statue, a monument of his head outside our stadium. Now, I do believe the players are to blame as well as the board. Arsene Wenger has done his absolute utmost with the amount of money he's had to spend. I think the start of the game, we knew where we was going with it. I genuinely believe we knew we weren't coming back from that when we left Bayern, as you said. But it's all about the pride, as you're all admitting. Now, listen, when we went 1-0 up, 20 minutes in, listen, there was all a little bit of hope there. As soon as we're 10 man down, there's no chance. There was no heart, there's no pride, we ain't got no backbone, and I've had enough. We've had enough, to be honest. I think we're an absolute disgrace.
OK, Luke, let's go to Paul, the Arsenal fan. I want to get through as many as I can. Paul's up next. Paul, good evening.
Evening, how are we? OK?
Yeah, good. Off you go, Paul. What do you want to say?
Yeah, just absolutely devastated. Absolutely devastated. I think there's no fight. There's no commitment tonight. OK, I mean, the penalty and stuff, it just went absolutely to pot. I mean, the first leg we lost it. Second leg tonight, I thought we would have a bit more fight about us, but nothing. I mean, it was that bad. I even took my dog Bullseye for a walk because I was that embarrassed. I just couldn't watch it anymore. And I just had enough, and I think Wenger should go. He's got to go. If he signs his deal...
Paul, let me ask you this.
About.
I don't know if you heard the show tonight. 2 callers ago, we had someone that was sticking up for Wenger, say that, if they would have gone in at 2-0, might have had a chance to come back and all come back. Why does some Arsenal fans still feel like that, Paul?
Because they've got to be loyal to him. We've been great. Don't get me wrong. He's been great to the club. You can't knock that, what he's done. But times change. And he's just out of depth now. He hasn't got the money's not there. The board's not backing him. They need someone in there fresh. So that guy was saying before, he's a load of rubbish. It's just, you've done what you've done. You'll be going down as a legend, but time to go, time for change, time for some fresh blood on the pitch as well as on the sideline.
I can't see any way back from Wenger for here now. This is humiliation.
Why can't you see any way?
No,
of course you can.
No, I can't.
Of course you can, Jay.
But it seems. But
the owners don't care about this.
Well,
what makes you think the club would allow them to get this far into this competition again and look like getting tonked and give a monkeys?
But I just feel that there's been a real change in this last 6 months in particular. In fact, the last 3 months has been it's becoming.
They don't care. Why would you're talking, Jay? You're talking from the point of view of a fan. The people that own the club are not fans.
No, but there's a chance they'll finish outside the top 4 this year as well. That's a realistic.
If they start losing money, then yes, of course.
That's a realistic.
If he gets top 4, he's not going anywhere.
I'm not. I used to think that, but after this performance and defeat, you can't.
If he's a proud man, then maybe you're right.
Well,
but if he wants to take another £9 million a year, he'll sign up for 2 more.
Is that the way it is now? Is that where we're at? Because Arsenal Football Club right now is a mess. This is as I said at the top of the show, this is as low point as I can remember in the modern time, in the last 20 years for Arsenal Football Club. Okay, I can't remember a time where there's a split in the stands. It's become a real point. I mean, listen, we're getting split. We're just the last 2 fans called Paul, right? One is backing the manager.
Yeah, but that'll be the only one tonight.
No, what I'm saying is, I don't think he's alone. I think there are fans out there, but that voice is becoming quieter and quieter. And tonight's performance over the 2 legs, this is gutless. This is not a football team. This is not a football club. They are in a real mess on and off the field right now.
Let me take one more call. I know Tony's an Arsenal fan, has been waiting for a bit. Tony, good evening.
Hello, how are you?
Thanks for holding, Tony. Busy night, but I'm going to try and get through every single call. What do you want to say?
No problem. No, but I'm just going to say I'm not angry. I'm not furious. I'm ashamed, and I want to apologise. I can't believe I'm saying this. I've been an Arsenal fan for 40 years. I want to apologise to Man United fans out there, and Chelsea fans and Tottenham and Liverpool. I want to apologise to the Premier League, because we are now no longer. We're not just an insult to the club. We're beyond that. We're an insult to the Premier League. We are an insult to the Champions League tournament. How any team can go to past the group stages, get to a knockout, and lose 10-2 over 2 games. That is an insult to the notion of competition. And I don't know how more to vent this. When we have children who go out and play football or do whatever sport from the age of 3, 4, 5 years old, whatever it is, you say go out and do your best. Don't worry about winning or losing, doing your best. We have now, and I forget the penalty, the referee, what absolute crock. We are in a situation now where the players have nothing. They need to be led. That's what they're crying for. We're not talking about overpaid. We're not talking about overpaid people who have mutiny or backroom rebellion. It's nothing like that. They are desiring. They need leadership, and they are not getting it. We have insulted the basis of professional sport tonight, and I am disgusted with my team. I pray with my heart that we do not make the top 4, because as you've mentioned earlier, if we make 4th place, we're going to get this again for another year, 2 years, and it has to stop. Wenger has been marvellous, but please go. We've had enough. I would rather sit mid-table or have a relegation battle, but at least go to a football match and see some element of fight and not capitulating because your captain gets sent off or because you've had a dodgy refereeing decision. This is absolutely ridiculous. I do not see, Sunderland at home to Bayern Munich. You would not have seen this. Middlesbrough, Palace, any other team in the English professional leagues, you would not have seen the capitulation that we saw tonight.
Tony, let me ask you, you made a very interesting point there. You hope that your side finish outside the top four because then you've got more... Okay, let me ask you this then. Your game at the weekend is against non-league Lincoln for a place in the last four of the FA Cup. A game you can hear live right here on Talksport. Do you want your side to lose that? Because if they go all the way to Wembley for the final and win it, there's every chance he might stay.
No. I'm quite happy to support them. And I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm listening to myself and I'm almost crying. I wanted to win that because the FA Cup will have no bearing. Like you say, they don't care less about the FA Cup. They want top four. No. Arsene Wenger can win or lose a cup. It's great for the fans. It's a great day out. I mean, Lincoln, from a romantic point of view, I'd like them to give the game. And if they win, fair play. But that's just nothing now in the big scheme of things. It's all about Champions League. Please, I want us to finish 5th or 6th. I can't bear the Champions League monotony of qualifying in second place, although obviously we qualified in first place this time and just, it could be argued we got bad luck drawing against Bayern Munich. But the whole monotony of scraping 4th position, of qualifying for the Champions League, of the board counting the dollars and the pounds, and yet again we have to go through this purgatory of insulting the concepts of sport, the fact that you go out to compete and we are not doing that. It is simply an insult to the game. It really is. And Arsenal fans tonight, we were all feeling the same. And perhaps, a few months ago, a few years ago, it might have been a 50-50 split. The gentleman on 2 calls ago, what game was he watching tonight? Because it wasn't the one I was watching.
Tony, let me ask you just quickly. Wonderful call. Thank you for your time. How long have you supported Arsenal for?
I've supported Arsenal for the best part of 40 years.
How does it feel to come on national radio and actually say you want them to lose?
I'll say it before. I could cry at what I'm saying, and to hear me back say this, I'm thinking, oh my God, is this me saying it? But we've got to think about the long-term interests of Arsenal Football Club, and for us to get top 4 again. Honestly, if it came to the last game of the season and we had to win to get top 4, and we scored a last-minute winner, I would be in tears. Okay. I would absolutely be in tears to win a game to get 4th place.
I can hear you nearly in tears now. I'll let you go. Thank you for your call. Keep them coming in. We are here till 1 a.m, as we are every night of the week for this very reason. So you can have your say live on national radio. Get dialing 08717 22 3344.